This is 39.6 Facebook Live and YouTube Live Finance Show. Today is episode number 95. It is Thursday, October 8, 2020. Our cost segregation analysis is done. This is the 39.6 Facebook and YouTube Live Finance Show, the show that teaches high earners like yourselves how to make your money work for you, so you don't have to work for your money. We talk general investing, taxes, real estate, Airbnb, syndications, childcare, college, and even the car you drive. We have been waiting for a few weeks, very anxiously, for this cost segregation analysis. I am so happy that we have the final version today. We have never been this close with our taxes. I mean, I've been pretty close before with the April 15th deadline, but never this close with the October 15th deadline. Usually have it taken care of in the summertime, and it's relatively uneventful, but we have been waiting for this. I asked somebody around Labor Day, I think it was, and got the guy, came out here. Well, he gave us an estimate first, then he came out here, or had his engineer come out here, took a bunch of pictures, then he gave us the final cost segregation analysis. Oh, it wasn't final. The first one was an estimate. The second one was a cost segregation analysis, like 80 pages long. It's like your taxes. Then I went through it line by line as best as I could quickly, and I said, oh, these line items are like super undervalued. We have like the appliances in this house that we bought. It's a new build in a nice community. I would not spend this much money on the appliances. I mean, spending like $8,000 on an oven, like you'd have to use that oven a lot of times to get your money's worth out of it. But it's an $8,000 oven. So that's just the oven. The appliance package is probably like $20,000 or something. And in the cost segregation analysis, it had actually listed the kind of oven and appliances that we had. I mean, the brand, I don't know if it had all of the model numbers and serial numbers, but when we first bought the property, we actually went through the entire house, took pictures of every appliance, model number, serial number, updated the warranties. It was pretty painful, but definitely something worth doing, especially if you're buying a new property, because all those things are under warranty. You want them to be in your name. And I also took pictures of like websites where I could find an estimated value of it for insurance purposes and whatnot. Luckily, I had this information readily available because I got the cost segregation analysis like earlier this week. And I said, can we possibly update some of these numbers, because I know these prices are higher. And I actually had the proof for those prices. So I sent it back to the guy. He said, I'll check with my engineers to see if they can update it. And today we got the new one. Okay, so with all that being said, I'm not going to go through 80 pages of this. Another episode when I'm really bored and I want to take you through it more line by line, I will. But today we're going to do a high-level look at this because this is just awesome. I'm very, very, very excited about this. It went up substantially with the updates. I have not gone through this line by line. I literally opened up the file like 2 minutes before I started this, just to get to this one page, and I was pleasantly surprised. Okay, so let me see if I can make this guy bigger. And it didn't make it bigger. It just moved it to the middle. I'm going to make it bigger now, hopefully. Okay. I'm hoping that makes it a little bit bigger for you. Maybe not. Okay, that's about as big as we're going to get it right now. Okay, so the property is here. remember, when you have a property, you cannot depreciate the land itself. Land does not go bad. It's just the land. It's just the earth. So the land value of our property is around like 24%. Let me just do the math on this real fast. It's just 225 divided by 968. So 23%, okay, of the value of the asset is land, okay? That part is considered non-depreciable. It does not go down in value for tax purposes and even for real life purposes. The one thing that actually appreciates in properties is the land. That's why houses often go up in value. It's really the land that does. The building itself just ages, and you have to put money into it to keep it nice, right? But it's really the land that goes up. The building does lose value. It gets old, it gets worn. So here, the building and the segregated costs. So if you look at the tax records, it'll basically have this split where it's like 225 and then like 740. Okay, and that's basically what we were using to depreciate this property. Yes, this is an expensive property, but expensive properties get great depreciation. Okay, not to necessarily buy one just for depreciation. I'm just saying that's just mathematically how it works. So when we do the cost segregation analysis, they break the property up into 3 different categories. They break it up into 5-year property over here, 15-year property, and 27.5-year property. So without a cost segregation analysis, you would just take the entire building, including all the pieces, and depreciate it over 27.5 years, which would be like $27,000 per year. Okay, which is nice. $27,000 is a lot of depreciation to take. But when you do the cost segregation analysis, you take out all of the 5-year items and the 15-year items out of that total price. So what falls in the 5-year property? Those appliances, carpeting, okay, the things that wear out quickly that the IRS chooses to put on a 5-year schedule. Okay, the 15-year schedule, those are the improvements of the property outside of the building. So that's like the landscaping, the concrete for the driveway, the fence outside. Those things are 15 years. But all these things inside the building are 5 years. Okay, then the rest of it is just the building. So those 5-year assets inside the building, because a lot of it is because of those appliances are very expensive, but all these other things in the property got up to $190,000. And then the 15-year property was $30,000. So those two combined, $220,000. Of the building itself, of that 740, 26% of it was 5-year property, 4% of it was 15-year property, and 70% of it was the building. So that's about 30% of it were segregated costs. Okay, and 70% of it was building costs. And that whole building and other things made up around like 80% or 77% of the entire property, including the land. But the land does not count. All right, so you take the land off, you have the building and other improvements, and you break off the internal things that were 5 years and then the external things that were 15 years. I've seen some cost segs that also have 7-year property, which have usually a couple things. But anyway, so 30% of the improvement value of our real estate asset was less than 27.5-year property. I've looked at other estimates of other properties. Often it's around like 25%. When we got our first estimate, it was about 25%, the one that was actually the full details that we got about a week ago. And now it's about 30%. So that bump actually was a big bump, and that will save us a lot in tax this year because our tax return is due in less than a week. In 1 week. Today's Thursday, October 8th. It's due a week from today. So all of our return is done except for this one little thing. But it's not one little thing because we've owned the property for a few years and we have to change the depreciation method. So there's a special tax form to switch from the straight line 27.5-year depreciation to a segregated version. And so we have to basically catch up some of the depreciation that we missed out on the past couple of years and take the depreciation that we can take this year. It's going to be awesome. Okay. I don't want to give away too much more. I actually have a talk on this at PIMDCon 2020. My talk is on Sunday for those who are joining, so I don't want to give away all the details, although in that talk I did not have this newest version, so the numbers are going to be even better than the numbers that are in that talk. So I'm very excited. We're going to get a nice check back, hopefully, in the next few weeks. Hopefully we don't get audited. But we have this awesome cost seg. So I think that if we do get audited, it would only be this one thing, which this should cover. Again, this is like 80 pages of work. It would cost us like $3,500, I think. I don't remember exactly. Somewhere in that range, 3,000-ish. Worth every single penny. Oh my gosh. So excited. Okay. It's a late one. Got to get going. Tomorrow we'll do another 5-Minute Friday. PIMDCon 2020 starts tomorrow. Super, super amped for that. A lot of awesome speakers. Saying a lot of ums tonight because I don't know. Okay. This is only for my entertainment, maybe yours. Not legal, professional, accounting, investment, medical, any other advice. Not advice. Entertainment only. Until tomorrow for episode 96. Let me just look at the chat box real quick. Yay. I have been waiting for this too. Now we can file our taxes. This is probably my wife. From like 10 feet away in the other room. Okay.